What's going on, everybody? My name is Zaki Bhai. Now, a lot of you guys are probably wondering how I got involved in rap and how the name Zaki Bhai came about. Well, Zaki is my first name, and Bhai in our language can have a dual meaning. It can be the Don, the gangster in the area, but it can also mean older brother, boss, somebody that's going to take care of you. So Zaki is my first name. Bhai, the reason I do it is because I feel like I'm a brother to the community at large, and I try through my raps and spoken words and freestyles to uplift not only the youth, but the elderly and even the children as well, and give them something that they can aspire to be like. Not in terms of me necessarily, but in the words and the lyrics that I'm teaching them. Now, a lot of you wondering, how did I come upon this journey and what made me want to be a force for positive change and wanted me to do raps that were geared towards positive energy? Well, I actually started out rapping, and it's a very interesting story, and it's going to shock some, so bear with me here. It's very funny. Rap was very popular when I was a child. Eminem was out at the time. 8 Mile was out at the time. You had a lot of hip hop was really starting to make a scene in the mainstream community. And at the time, we had the Sunday school talent show. And I actually did, keep in mind, I did not know how to rap. We had the Sunday school talent show. And my mom said, you're going to do a rap at this event, because she's like, you write all these poetries, you write all these songs, you like reading. I actually read 100 books, children books, when I was 5. So I was really into reading, really into poetry. But you have to keep in mind, I was what people would classify as a nerd or a geek. So I really was shy. I didn't have the self-confidence, and I really didn't want to go up on stage and perform. But my mom's like, no, you have to do this. You're really good at this. And I said, no, Mom, I don't think I can do this. And it's quite a funny story, but she pretty much body slammed me in front of all my friends and said, you're gonna do this song. So I said, okay, Mom, I'll do it. And what she did is she wrote some of the lyrics, and my sister wrote some of the lyrics. So I actually did not write the first lyrics to my song. I performed it at the Sunday school talent show, and everyone liked it. So I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, people really like this. And then I started writing my own songs, and I started competing in a speech and debate competitions in the original prose and poetry competition section. So when I started doing that, I had a speech and debate coach. Her name's Miss Elko, and she really guided and mentored me to the point where I was doing these spoken word raps almost during the original prose and poetry, and people really liked it, and I was able to go far. So I was able to win 3rd place, I believe, in the county that I was in, and then I finally made it to the state championships. I lost over there. I think I ended up getting 10th place or something, but I forget the exact place that it was, but I know that people really liked it. It was a great response. So I said, okay, people are really liking this. This is something that I could get myself into doing. But to be honest with you, I wasn't 100% passionate about it at the time. I wanted to be a firefighter. I hurt my knees. That didn't really work out. Later on, I tried on to be a correction officer. I failed the shooting test. I'd never shot a gun before. That didn't work out for me either. So I'm just getting involved. I'm doing my raps. I'm rapping in school talent shows. I'm rapping at the local Daisy events, hip-hop events. I'm freestyling. I'm rapping in class. But the truth is, I'm actually not really going anywhere with this. And so I get into the master's program, and I'm doing my thesis on hip-hop. And a shooting massacre happens at a Sikh temple. And I've grown up around Sikhs. I've had a lot of friends that are Sikhs in Punjabi. I'm Desi myself. And so it really touched me, and I actually wrote like a spoken word piece. It goes on NPR. It gets quite popular. I didn't expect it. I was kind of doing it to show my appreciation for Sikhs and the Desis in the community and all the love they'd shown me. And I was just trying to eradicate racism in the sense that I wanted everyone to learn to accept one another. And so I got quite popular after that. But surprisingly enough, despite the fact that I was popular, there was something in me. Because if you guys remember to the beginning of my story, I started off kind of geeky and nerdy. So I messed up in corrections. I didn't do really well in the shooting test. I didn't make it in firefighting. I felt like I was sort of like a less of a man, or emasculated, if you guys want to put it that way. And at the same time, I was taking these gender studies classes, and I kind of felt at that time that I was being attacked simply for being a guy. And I feel like the identity politics and what people were saying at the time, political correctness, had gotten so much at the point that I wanted to react and fight back against it. And so I discovered this thing called battle rap. And the thing I liked about battle rap is that you could say whatever you wanted to say. You could do whatever you wanted to say. And at the end of the day, everyone would shake hands. So it would build mental toughness. And it's funny because when people would go to these battle raps, they would say all these horrible things that people would consider really horrible, but they didn't really mean them. Because some of the things they said, some of the things that, like, for example, that people consider sexist or racist, they had crews. Their crews are very diverse. They had different races, different groups, different genders. Their very own crew was part of that group they're making fun of. So it was more just, okay, you're making fun of another, someone's making fun of you, but not all battle rappers made fun of each other. Some brought in wordplay, some brought in lyrics, some brought in other things. So I get fascinated by this battle rap culture, and in my mind, I'm telling myself it's not real, and the other battle rappers are not telling themselves it's real, and I'm really liking the freedom. You can say whatever you want. But what ends up happening while I'm getting involved in battle rap is I'm saying a lot of things that I don't necessarily agree with, but I'm trying to create a shock value. I'm trying to win at that point. And it was a good feeling because all of a sudden I went from being this skinny kid, this geeky kid, this nerdy kid to all of a sudden this masculine, aggressive kid. I'm getting respect. But it's all real, it's all fake, it's all pretend. And I thought it was acting. The people watching it know it's acting. But there are some battle rappers who will claim they only rap about stuff that they only battle rap about. So the more and more deeper I got involved in this, it came to a point where I wanted to rap about things that I actually did. So there are some raps where I talk about being a geek and I talk about being a nerd, and those are actually quite my favorite raps because I was being true to myself. But then there's a lot of other battle raps in which I feel like I might have crossed the line, or I was doing things for shock value and stuff, and for that I honestly don't feel good about. But that doesn't mean I don't like battle rap. I like a lot of aspects of battle rap. Like I like the freedom of speech. I like the mental toughness it brings because you're both are making fun of each other, but you're not attacking one another. You're still shaking hands at the end. I like the camaraderie. I love the lyricism. I love the wordplay. I love the environment, how it's one crowd. So there's a lot of things I like of it. And keep in mind, not all battle rappers behave the way I did. I'm not trying to say battle rap is bad. I'm just trying to tell you how I got involved and what made me leave it. And you even had some battlers like Loaded Lux who were bringing a deeper message and even putting down being in a gangster, being street life. So what happens to me is towards the end of my battle rap career, I really get to this point where I'm trying to search for something meaningful. I want to say something meaningful. So you see it towards the end of my battle raps. But the thing is, sometimes you have a very meaningful verse, right? And then you want to repeat it again and again and create a song, and then you want to say it at different places. So what happens in battle rap is you're writing for your opponent, right? You're writing strictly for your opponent. And what happens when you're writing strictly for your opponent is that you can't reuse that line somewhere else. But if you write a song, you can reuse it later on and it has some meaning. And another thing that happened that made me want to leave battle rap is there's so much disinformation on the internet right now, right? And there were some things I believed in battle rap, like going to school and hard work. And keep in mind, I'm not saying that we all need to be politically correct, but there's lots of things that I didn't believe in and actually things I'd never done, but I was just saying them so that I could win. And at that point, I wanted my lyrics and what I said to reflect who I really was and who I really am. And I was afraid that I know it's entertainment. The people watching know it's entertainment. The battle rappers engaging know it's entertainment. But what if somebody watching it doesn't know it's entertainment? Or what if, even worse, they're watching it to reinforce one of their existing beliefs that I don't agree with, but I'm doing this because this is what battle rap is not all about for everyone, but it was all about for me. So I said, no. Whatever I rap about now, it has to be 100% who I am or very close to who I am. And if somebody were to emulate it or to replay it or to act it out, good things would happen to them. I think right now, and that's why I started rapping about study gangs and library mafiosos, because I feel as a whole, and I don't know if times have changed, but I feel like when I was a kid, people that were nerdy or intellectual or considered themselves geeks lacked confidence. They felt like didn't take pride in their academics. They weren't cocky about it. So I took all the cockiness of a gangster. I took all the cockiness of what people would call a mafioso. I took the style and everything. I took the confidence, but I'm applying it to something good like studying and hard work. And my goal from here on out is for all my raps to have a meaning, a purpose, and if somebody were to listen to the raps, something good would happen to them. Another thing that happens when you're battle rapping, or not just battle rapping, anytime you're acting even, kind of like Heath Ledger when he's playing Joker, is you think it's not going to affect you. But sometimes those words you keep on saying, the subliminal messages start to affect you. So you get to the point where you turn into, or I did, you start to see that sense maybe you're turning into an aggressive individual. And that's not what I want to do. I think balance is the key to life. You don't want to be super passive to the point where people take advantage of you, but you don't want to be overly aggressive either. So I said, you know what? It's time for a change. I'm going to do some raps. But while I'm going through this change, a transformation is taking place. I'm reading a lot of Martin Luther King. I'm reading a lot about Gandhi. I'm reading a lot about Bhagat Singh even. I'm reading a lot about historical figures who were trying to raise social consciousness and awareness. I'm reading this book by Napoleon Hill and Napoleon Hill has had a huge impact on me. Think and Grow Rich and Laws of Success. And he talks about having a pleasing personality, going the extra mile, working hard, getting along with others. He talks about how nothing great can be built until it's built upon victory. No victory can be built, unless it's built upon justice and truth, unless it's built upon hard work. And he talks about how the greatest thing in life is to have success without violating the rights of others. So I have to be very careful. I didn't understand the power of lyrics or how much words have effect. And you don't realize it until your audience comes and tells you what those lyrics meant to them or what they did because of that. So I said, all right, I'm going to do something positive. I'm going to do something good. But it hasn't been easy. I've had to undergo transformation. I've had to undergo personality change. I've had to really change myself. So I've taken all the good aspects of my life and I've combined them with the other good aspects, like the confidence that I learned in battle rap, the pride in oneself, and I'm combining it in with Study Gang, Library Mafioso, and all these songs geared towards education. Basically, I'm telling people it's okay to be yourself. You can be proud in being yourself. You don't have to be ashamed of who you are. That's the message of all of these raps. But like I said, it hasn't been easy. A lot of hardships have come. It's funny because when you try to do something good or something on the right path, you find out you're losing a lot more money. You're putting a lot more time and effort. It's getting a lot harder to get it started. Some people don't even agree with the positive raps. They're like, hey man, I want to hear about that. I want to hear about weed, smoking. I want to hear about shootings or gangs. But then if I were to rap about that stuff, then I would be pretending to be something I'm not. And I don't want to do that anymore. I'm rapping about the stuff I really do. I like to dress up, so you're going to see that in my raps. But I'm not really like a hardcore partier. I might have done it in the past to fit in. I like to read. I like to write things. I'm into books and stuff like that. So that's the image I'm going to portray, is who I really am all the way. And inspiring other young kids. I always feel like if I can change just one geek, I can just change one person going down the wrong path, then I've done the right thing. And I also talk a lot about bad company, because for a time period, I also fell into bad company, but I was very lucky. I was very fortunate. I was able to get out of it. And that's what I'm trying to teach other kids and youngsters, is how to stay away from bad company, be proud of your academic achievements. So this is who I am. And that's how the name Zaki Bhai came about. Zaki was my first name. And then Bhai means older brother to the rest of the community and stuff. So I would encourage other rappers to also rap about who they really are and use their talents, because rap truly is talent, to help others out. I know I'm going to be doing the same thing. I just know that with all those battle raps out there that I've done, some people maybe thought I must have really meant it. Some people might not have known it was acting. And some people also don't know that I underwent a transformation, a personality change in order to do these positive raps. I'm going to try to stay on this path for a while. But I just wanted to answer any unanswered questions before all these raps went live. And I'm just going to do my very best to be a force for positive change and use these lyrics to help those around me. I appreciate all of you guys listening to this long journey of mine. I hope that it continues for many years, and I hope all of you out there listening are using your own personal talents to help those around you. Thank you very much.